Save 8% off your order at TrueTechTools.com by using the Shop Talk discount code. And we're live. What's up, Dave?
Oh, just chilling with you, Zach.
Man, how do you like the music at the beginning of mine? Because it's so much different than the music that you play.
Well, you know what's neat is I hope everybody watching knows is that you play all your songs and I play all my songs.
Oh, yeah.
And what we need to do is get together with Lex Vance, because Lex Vance is like the most ultimate musician.
Yeah.
Dude, I hope Lex watches this. He toured out in bands for a long time, and I got to do the same thing too when I was younger.
Mhm.
We need to get together one time. I need to drive my motorcycle to the south. And I'll be your guys' drummer.
Where's Lex at? Lex is where? Florida?
Yeah, he's in Florida.
No, that's not too far away.
Yeah, man. And and you're a good guitar player, and Lex is an absolute virtuoso shredder.
I know, right? He's really good.
I'm better on drums and bass than I am on guitar because my hands are so freaking big. If you could ever see you guys, Jerry Rice would love to have my hands. And yeah, I never dropped the ball in high school football. It's a lot better if I play drums and guitars.
Well, I see you got like Bob Marley behind you, and I don't know. Can I bring my Peter, Paul, and Mary? Will that work?
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right. As long as I'm mesh. Although I do like Bob Marley too. Was that No Woman, No Cry? Let me ask you something, because I was thinking about this earlier. Actually, does Bob Marley have a song? Do I have the title right? It's called Redemption Song.
He does. It's an acoustic song. It's just acoustic with Bob singing, and everybody should listen to it. A lot of Bob's music actually has scripture in it, believe it or not. It's
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it'll freak you out. Really, really good stuff. But Redemption Song is acoustic with just the guitar and Bob.
I'm trying to think. Was it Old Pirates as I Lay Dying, something like that?
Yeah,
they sell for the merchant ship. It's really, really good. I saw it for when the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame first started. Jackson Browne covered that song for Bob Marley, and I said that's a really good song. I really liked it.
It's great. One of my favorite Bob Marley songs is Africa Unite. If you like reggae music, that's a great one to listen to. Africa Unite. Oh, dude, it's so good. And then all the guys in his band, like Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer. There's a album from Bunny Wailer that when I'm probably 10 years older than you, so Bunny Wailer had this song that came out in the late 80s. It was an album called Revolution, and it was game changing. So if anybody, you can, hey Siri, play Bunny Wailer Revolution.
Oh, yeah. I got Alexa.
Or yeah, tell me what you guys think about that record, but listen to the whole record. And then if you're younger, you'll have no idea. If you're my age in the 50s, put your brain back into the 1980s and listen to that record.
So,
Money, dude. I love Bunny Wailer.
How old are you? You're early 50s, right?
53. I'm 53, man.
I'm 41. I'm a little bit behind you. I'm 41. So in the 80s, I was still growing up. In the 90s, that's where I started listening to music.
I'm 53, so I got the 80s, the 90s. Probably the best time ever for California was the late 1970s into the early 80s. You could ride a dirt bike anywheres, and California wasn't all stupid like it is now, but
they confiscate your dirt bike. You got to get yourself an electric bike or something like that.
Not yet, not yet, but being able to ride dirt bikes in California is getting tough, man.
What's the now? Why is it tough? Is there law against it now? You had to be a certain size motor or something like that?
No, man. You got to have your green sticker. So the 2-strokes are pretty much done. We used to be able to go ride out at Hollister, and then they figured out, oh shit, Hollister's got natural occurring asbestos. And there's times a year when you can ride or not. You can still go ride out at LaGrange. A lot of the BLM stuff. So this is how smart the left is over the right. We don't need to get into politics, but this is a real deal as far as riding motorcycles, dirt bikes. They figured out, well, if those guys are out there riding their motorcycles or shooting their guns on BLM, right? Bureau of Land Management.
I was wondering what BLM was. Because are you talking about some kind of riot or something? What are we talking about?
No.
Okay, all right.
We're talking about Bureau of Land Management. What they figured out in California was, you guys ain't shooting your guns out here anymore because it can cause a fire. And then they figured out, you're not going to ride your motorcycles out here anymore either because it could cause a fire. So we're done. And dirt biking and other recreational activities, you're pretty much forced out to the desert in SoCal. You're going to go, Bakersfield and then out into the desert areas if you want to enjoy. We still have Hollister and we still have LaGrange. But when I was a kid growing up, dude, anywhere that was open, go for it.
So what's the deal now? If you ride out to the forest or something like that, and you lay your bike down, the muffler going to start pine straw on fire or something? What's the idea behind that?
Yeah, you're probably going to get arrested and get a big old fine, get in trouble, and they're going to impound your bike, man. That's the way it is. Great. Yeah.
But you ride a lot though, right? You ride in California.
I'm riding a street legal Harley Davidson. And I used to have a Victory. Don't get me wrong, dude. Polaris makes great motorcycles. And now they've abandoned Victory, which pissed me off. And because we didn't know when we had those Victory bikes that they bought the rights to Indian motorcycles. And in all honesty, it makes sense. Ditch the Victory brand and just go with one brand. And they've taken all that technology that the Victory motorcycles had and they've dumped it into Indian motorcycles, and it's great. They make awesome motorcycles. And to be honest, when I went out to Sturgis this last summer, because I wasn't participating in COVID,
this was optional.
Well, it depends where. The further I went east from the West Coast, the less COVID seemed to be a problem. I'm on a 2020 Harley Davidson 114, which is, I don't think it's their biggest motor because they make a 131 now. But anyways, just a stock Harley Davidson motor versus a stock Indian 108. This new water cooled thing they have in their Challenger. I got smoked. And my buddy Jeff, who goes on YouTube as Bearded Bobber, check out his channel. He's a great guy. He's a tattoo artist. He got crushed by COVID because he couldn't do his job in California because he does tattoos, right?
Right.
if you guys could go give him support and subscribe to his channel, great guy. And then also Meatball Rebel, he has 2 Indian bikes, but he was on an Indian Scout, which is just it's the smallest bike Indians make. It smoked my Harley. And dude, you know me, Zach. I'm an honest guy, dude. I don't need to brag about how, I'm this fucking awesome dude on a motorcycle. I love my Harley Davidson motorcycle. But dude, stock versus stock, it's a great bike and it has great power. Hey, I could do 120 miles an hour on my motorcycle, but are you really ever going to ride that fast on a motorcycle? No. So we were out there just being kids as grown-ups, and they smoked me, and it's honest. And I've always been honest about it. And then our little joke between the 3 of us was, hey, what's the name of your bike? The Soy Glide? Because I lost.
Soy Glide.
Yeah, so my bike is now the Soy Glide because it's a Harley Davidson.
That ain't very cool.
Oh, it's funny as shit. And then
is this the guy right here that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Jeff at Beer. Yeah, you guys go subscribe to Jeff. He'd be over the moon. And he doesn't even know we're live tonight. If he saw this, he'd be so stoked. He's a great guy, and check this out, everybody. He's in California, and he's a tattoo artist, and California shut him down for a long, long time. And he's like the rest of us, man. He's trying to make a living. He's trying to provide for a family. He's trying to do his YouTube channel, and he loves Indian motorcycles, and his bike is awesome. He's got great content on there, and he's a super, super great guy. Give that guy a subscribe and say hello. Tell him NorCal Dave sent you over. That would really fuck with him. Hey, Zach, punch up. See if you can find Meatball's channel on there. Meatball Rebel.
Meatball Rebel. Now, is this guy back at work? Is he back doing his job now, or is he still out of work?
They're allowed to work right now because California, our cases in COVID, I don't think no one's in the ICU anymore. I think California is pretty much, yeah. And then come and check out my boy Meatball. I gave him, so if you guys haven't seen my video on YouTube, I made a video about Sturgis, and I rode out with these 2 guys and my coworker Drew. Now, you won't see a lot of Drew on my video. Drew works at the university with me. He's probably a better HVAC mechanic than me. Drew's like 61 years old. And he's fixed everything from airplanes for the United States Air Force to you name it. I really respect Drew a lot. He's a great mechanic. He rode out with me there. And the opening of the video is funny. So if you go to my channel and you find Rocket Pop, a motorcycle adventure, and there's a playlist with all the Harley Davidson videos, it's on there. These 2 guys are on there, and I F with them hard. Dude, I take a crap by their motorcycles because they're riding Indians and I'm on a Harley. You have to go, dude, you have to go watch the video. It's funny. But Meatball is a great guy. He's up in Sonora, California, and you're going to see a lot more of him. Well, you'll see the rear end of his bike from my GoPro because his stuff smokes me. And I'm planning. I want to ride with him a bunch this summer, and I do a ride every Labor Day called the Cock and Balls Run. But it's really not a comedy. It's about testicular cancer and men's mental health, where it's kind of invite only. Where we go ride motorcycles, and it's just the boys, dude. We have a good weekend, and we try to we have a good time, man. Because you know how it is, dude. Men's mental health is a mess right now. You know,
I think it's real bad because, men, we got to kind of hide a lot of the stuff that happens with us because we're supposed to be like the head, that's what a lot of people think. So it's kind of tough.
It is tough. And you're not going to tell your doctor when you have problems because we just don't bring it up. And hopefully we can get this stuff out and keep ourselves as healthy as possible to keep moving forward.
Hey, what's your best tip on that? How do you stay as healthy as possible?
Dude, I don't know, man. I'm goofy as shit, dude, and I'll admit it.
Maybe that's it, though. Don't take stuff too seriously.
Well, I mean, if you watch my videos on YouTube for HVAC, I take a very, very blue collar approach where some guys are trying to be so professional and so dry and regimented. I can't do that, Zach. And
you mean.
man, we've been friends for like what, almost 10 years now.
I joined and started in 2011, so it's been 10 years.
It has been, and and I've always watched all your videos. And dude, if there's are all your old videos still on YouTube?
Yeah, they're all there.
All right, so if there's young technicians that want to learn residential heating and air, especially heat pumps, go back and watch Zach's videos. Everything you need to know is on there. And I'm not blowing smoke up your
butt. That's really nice, man. I appreciate it.
But I've watched them. Dude, I'll be honest with you. There's not a lot of heat pumps in California. I had to go back a couple of times to watch some defrost control board videos. Mm-hmm. And you're like me, very blue collar, simple, easy to understand diagnosis of the defrost boards. And I do a lot of Carrier stuff, and you had a bunch of the Carrier Bryant stuff back in the day, a lot of the Goodman stuff. We all came across those Goodman defrost boards. You had great videos on it. And I'm not going to dog out Goodman.
There's a lot of them. Hey, there's a lot of those Goodman defrost boards dying, so there's a lot of good practice out there for everybody.
And there's going to be a lot more because I don't know where you're at. This winter was a mega furnace shortage in California. I don't know about South Carolina. Are you in South Carolina or North Carolina?
North Carolina.
Did you guys end up with the shortage too?
You know what? There's no furnaces being bought where I'm at. So I would not even notice that.
I'm even talking heat pumps. So the one thing you could find out here, because they're made in Houston, Texas, Goodman. It's not a, they have high level, they have low level. The stuff's everywhere. It's up to the mechanics, us mechanics, to make it a good product. Come on.
Oh, yeah,
if they have failures and it's under warranty, it is what it is.
Except for Goodman. Goodman's worse.
Well, hey, Goodman.
I'm just kidding. They got low level and they got subterranean level.
Hey, it's like the Chinese refrigerators or a True, you know. What's the customer going to buy, dude? We're stuck in it now. You know what I mean?
Hey, but you know what? What I always liked about Goodman, and I can't believe I even said that. What I always liked about Goodman is I feel like that whatever happened to it, it was always really easy to fix, and the stuff was simple, and it wasn't crazy, and it wasn't something you had to order and had to come from across the sea or something like that. So
that's true. Hey, and I'm stuck in that world on mini splits at my day job. So I don't know if your viewers know, but so I work a day job at the university, and then I have my refrigeration business. And because I have that job at the university, I get to do that. And what's cool is the university somehow, without telling the HVAC shop, they installed hundreds of daikon air conditioning units in server rooms that they didn't tell us about. And then it got dumped on us. And so let's see. I just did like 3 evaporator change outs because they all leak. You know how they leak, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same with any air conditioner. The evaporator coils, the copper's thin, they're going to end up leaking. Those were installed in 2011 to 2013, and I just found out that we have them. Talked to my boss. Hey, we don't have a PM for these, bro. So someone up there owes us our shop. The way it works, someone owes our shop the money to PM these units. I don't understand how it works, and I never will. It's a giant university, but somehow each department has a budget and gets paid somehow out of this big square. And I don't know how it's not just a big square. So we end up, he finds out, oh yeah, those are all ours. There's a giant list. I don't know where they're at. Well, neither do I, bro. And so now we're finding them as they die. Condensers.
That's so funny. You don't find them until they die. That's just hilarious. Yeah,
bro. Every condenser's got a sweater. Every evaporator coil's got a leak. Hey, props to the installers though, because a lot of those guys might watch these videos in Santa Cruz. It's a union shop, and they're great pipe fitters. No leaks on the connections. It's been the coils like they always are. And I've had a couple of outdoor units die because the condensers never got cleaned. And those compressors will die. They will die if the condensers aren't cleaned. Great resource. I got to tell you a great story here, Zach. Because I know he's a friend of yours too, is Tom Powell. And I got my local daikon guy. He was actually boots on the ground the day I called him, and he was too busy, and I ended up working late on a unit. I had changed out an evaporator coil, and I think it had ended up either being the master unit, or I pressed too many buttons in there because I put it into recovery mode, recovered the gas, and I think after I killed power and put power back on, I thought I put it back in recovery mode, but what I ended up doing is moving. I hope the daikon guys watches and don't annihilate. They could YouTube police me.
This is Tom's YouTube channel for people that are watching.
They should go subscribe. Tom is a gem. So Tom does a lot of tool reviews, but he's daikon master in the United States. So I think I ended up moving the button 3 over to 5 is what we ended up finding out, but it took hours and hours. And Tom was so nice on his own time at home after work. And I call because I'm on the West Coast and I think he's in St. Louis. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And I called Tom. Hey, Tom, what you got going on?
How's your family? Anyway.
Yeah. Exactly.
Here's the real reason.
I told him I changed an evaporator coil out. My crap ain't working. How many heads on it? I'm all 3. Well, which one's the master? I'm all none of them. And dude, he was so great, dude. He went through the whole thing. And this is the truth, dude. I'm not like you, Zach. I'll be honest. I'm not a super tech. I'm a refrigeration guy, and we got to do everything. We got to do HVAC, refrigeration, ventilation. That's why we're HVACR. He got me through it. It took a long time, and I was 4 floors up for the top coil, the basement for the lower coil, because I'm in a skyscraper. We ended up, he got me through it. It was awesome. And thanks, Tom. And
he's good.
But that's what it takes working on this stuff, man. I think I had ended up pooching that unit because when I didn't know that when you put in recovery mode, you're fine for the recovery. You can kill power. When you go to turn it back on, you're good. You don't need to touch any more buttons. Leave it be.
You doing this number?
Yeah, it'll go find everything. But what we ended up doing was I had the 5 light over here. We ended up putting it back to 3. And then I had to make one of the indoor heads, the master unit, excuse me. And we did that. And I had never done that before, dude. That was a trip. And this is the world I'm in because now I'm the daikon guy at work.
So that you graduated to daikon guy after that call right there.
Yeah. And I got the service checker 3, but I don't have a laptop from work to hook it up to yet. So my boss is trying to find me a computer.
You just wander around with a service checker looking for a laptop.
We're going to get it hooked up eventually. We're going to get it going. But what's cool is Norman S. Wright's my daikon dealership, and I'm sure you have a Norman S. Wright where you guys live.
I've never heard of that before, so they're not around here.
It's a wholesale house. I think Reardon's dealt with them. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
He was a great channel. What happened to that guy?
He's around. Awesome. He's working on. He doesn't do many videos, but it's about time for him to come back on here, I guess.
He was when we started doing videos, bro. People should go check out his channel too. Steven was fun. He would get annihilated on service calls working for Cape Fear. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that close to you? Is that in your area?
I've met him in person a couple times, and I've actually we had dinner with him a couple times. But he is probably a couple hours away. We'd meet in the middle, a couple times. So yeah, he's not too far away in the grand scheme of things compared to you. You're like 5 days from me drive.
Yeah, exactly. But when we were me and you were doing YouTube videos back in the day, he was probably one of the top guys, don't you think?
Yeah, he took off and because he was making those like 30-minute long videos. He was the first one I really saw making videos where he'd like get the GoPro on and like the whole call was on the video. So
Yeah, and
people
he
like
would.
that.
What I found interesting about North Carolina from his videos, because I live in California, so I'm watching a guy in North Carolina. He'd be hot as hell in summer. There'd be snow. He was out there, and I didn't know it did that where you guys lived.
Yeah, well, where he lives, it does that because he was up in Raleigh, which is about an hour and a half northwest. So they get snow. We don't get hardly any snow here because we're too close to the ocean. But he would get snow, and of course it's like 95 in the summer. So you're right, it's pretty extreme.
So in the daytime in the winter? What's your temperature?
We probably
not the low, but the high.
Like January is the coldest month, and the last I remember looking at it, it's like 50 something.
So we're the same.
Yeah.
The only where I differ from you is my summer. I don't have humidity, and my high temp's going to be when it's normal 72, 75, and I'm like 50, 60 humidity. That's it.
That's not, you got those the Pacific current coming down. We got that Gulf going up. It makes everything hotter, more uncomfortable.
Well, because your ocean gets hot, right? You guys are trunking it. You don't need a wetsuit in your ocean in summertime.
Oh no, man! It's like 85 degrees or higher.
That's the difference. So
like bath water.
You come out to my place and jump in the ocean, and the thing's going to go like this. It's going to shrink up in the sack and everything. Yeah, because it's like summertime water, 58 degrees.
No kidding.
In the winter it could get as low as 48.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's never that cold here, even in the winter, because everything comes from the south here, so the water's always warmer. That's why we have hurricanes.
We get all our waves in wintertime, so you don't want to surf out here in summer in Santa Cruz because the waves suck. But we get all our surf in winter, and it's all reef breaks out here. So it's usually between, honestly, 52 to 56 degree water in winter, and the waves are just pumping. But what's also strange in wintertime too is we get some of our best weather too. So you could be out there, it's 50, say the water temp's 56, it might be 68 degrees. For us is like amazing, right?
That's nice.
And so it feels good because your wetsuit's like 5'4" or 4'3". And the wetsuits they make nowadays, you're very comfortable. And you got booties on for your feet. We don't have to wear gloves like the guys in New Jersey, so our hands are bare. But I have been out there long enough to where you can't even get the key in the car, dude. It's like, oh, you're trying to help it in there.
Yeah. Well, how often do you still do that? How often do you go out there? You said you did it multiple times a week back in the day. What do you do now?
Yeah, I don't surf as much as I used to. I need to lose a bunch of weight, dude. I need to lose about 40 pounds to get
your body surf. Your body.
No, surf. I got the longboard, dude. I'll take the 8-footer out there, but maybe like once every 2 months. I'm not doing it like I used to. I used to be an everyday guy where if my gills got dried, I'd get eggy.
Yeah. Start getting irritable to take you back to the water.
I was no fun to live with if I didn't get in the water, but no, now I supplement it with the motorcycle. Dude, motorcycle riding's fun. It's dangerous.
Hey, it's sedentary and fun.
Hey, everybody I pass on my motorcycle, now this is California, I can't talk about your state, is on their damn cell phone. And now it's graduated to diesel trucks. Now I'm driving by diesel trucks on like I-5 looking up. These dudes are driving their trucks staring at their phone, bro.
That's scary.
Well, you know what's coming is that whole autonomous thing, and we should talk about this for a second. So I looked at Ford's website, and I'm not a hippie by no means whatsoever, but the end of summer, Ford is going to have their all-electric work van out that's supposed to get 160 miles per charge.
Let me see if I look that up.
Yeah, look it up and put it on here. So it's the Ford. It's the same vans like all of us have seen. They didn't change the body shape. And it's got the inverter in the back. You could plug the chop saw in and the whole deal. So that's going to be available. Cool. Hey, the price is killer. So Tesla's done. So these work vans are like between $35,000 and $40,000. Now
it looks just like a Connect.
It's the regular work van.
Like the big. No, was it Transit?
Yeah, right? like the one Rob Dippold has, and all those guys. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and they got the smaller ones too. So by the end of summer, that's coming out the 100, and they're claiming 160-mile range. Now, I don't do over 160 miles a day for NorCal. I don't know what you guys are doing. I'm sure my day job is going to buy these because the university has a no emissions thing going. The price is right on Ford. So $35,000 electric work van. You can build at your house or at your shop. You guys can build your own solar. You can build enough solar with battery backup to charge these things overnight. I don't know what the cost is going to be for all the solar and all the batteries.
That's wild. I'd
But
like to know more about it.
I know like the governor in California said 2035. I think these car companies are going to jump the gun and we're going to be all electric way before 2035. And I'm
They
not
don't want to be
happy.
caught with their pants down. Like, somebody comes up and says, now we're going to have to be electric by this date. And they want to be ready. It's just like these guys with the refrigerants. They want to be ready when it happens. I guess.
Yeah, but I'm still, I would hope there would be a legislator somewheres that would come in and grandfather hot rods and old cars and motorcycles to stay gasoline forever. That's my big concern. Even I know I'm sounding happy about the vans being electric. But honestly, I'm not. I think it's great. I know that this is the future and this is where we're going, and I understand all of that. But I know the grid in California can't support it. We lose power every summer now, and I have a generator. I wish I could put the camera down here. I have a camera. I have a generator. I said camera. I have a generator and extra gasoline.
Well, that sounded really smooth.
Yeah, and extra gasoline. Oh, that was the microphone you said. Just because the power goes out here now. The power's not going out in North Carolina where you live because you guys haven't gone crazy yet. So what they've done here is all the old gas. So this is what happened. All the natural gas burning power facilities in California, they got old. They scrapped. They didn't replace them. And they're going, oh, we're going to go solar or wind. What happened in Texas this winter has already happened in California for the last 3 summers. We lose power. So I got to run. I put a transfer switch. I'm pointing at it. I put my own transfer switch in my house to run my fridge. I do the basics, my fridge, the lights, and the internet. Because I'm on the coastal climate zone, I usually don't need an air conditioner. Now there is 2 or 3 times a year I need an air conditioner. I bought a window unit. I bought that. I'll do a video on the channel. I bought that U-shaped window shaker.
I was sure you were going to say that, where the one with the window slides down in between it, and
it's made by Media, yeah, and it's an inverter. And I'll make a video of it for the 2 times a year as I get to use it, and I'll put the amp probe on it. But you got to remember too, I'm not going to have a real test on it because 1, I don't have the humidity like you guys do, and 2, when I am running that, what's my ambient really going to be outside? 90, maybe it gets to 100 here for 2 days, and my nights are going to cool way off because my ocean is my evaporative cooler. That's the one. So the ocean here is my evaporative cooler. The wind always blows from the ocean to inland, and my ocean's 56 degrees in summertime or 58 degrees. So at nighttime, it's always going to cool off if the wind comes in. But yeah, that is the unit I bought. I bought a 10,000 BTU. I got a 12,000 square foot house. My downstairs is small. And my son.
Man, you just said you had a 12,000 square foot house. I feel like that was an error.
No, 1,200.
I'm about to say Dave is doing very well.
No, 1,200. And you could buy my neighbor's 1,200 square foot house for $1,050,000.
That's a hard pass on that one. I get like 10 houses here for that.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, dude. Maybe when I retire in 10 years, I'll be living next door to you.
I think it's wise. You can take all that money you saved up and bring it out here, and you're going to be a king. You're going to be our overlord. We're gonna follow you around.
It's you know what the shame is, dude, is not a lot of young families living here anymore. They all have to move inland. where the houses are cheap, and that's a shame.
And cheap is like what, like 400 grand, right?
No, so my father ran the bus service out in Merced County. There's a UC out there, and it's pretty rural. And I think you could probably still find a house out there for $200,000 or $300,000.
Yeah. See,
I don't know.
here, you get a nice house for $300,000. I'm living in a nice neighborhood with a gate on it.
What's the HVAC guy making in your town just for a regular shop?
Oh, it's probably try to go with some of my buddies that I've heard. You're looking at 20s and 30s.
No,
so it corresponds with where we're at, I guess.
That's way better. That's way better. So if you go out there to where my old man lives, that's all those probably guys are making out there, and they got to pay $200 or $300. Yeah, dude. Once you go inland in California, the wages go, they just drop. So yeah, way better lifestyle in North Carolina.
It really is. It's cheap living, and I think it's even cheaper. Like we were talking about Tennessee and stuff, because they have less. It's like there's no state income tax or something like that. There's some appeal to Tennessee. I forget what it is.
Hey, let's talk about Tennessee for a minute. So I hope Chuck is watching. So I had a coworker that just left my same job that I have at the university, at the day job. He sold his house out here, and he moved to Sparta, Tennessee. And he's loving it. And he got a job while still living in California before he even moved to Tennessee. And he did it online. He set the guy's resume, the whole thing. He had to do a drug test in California, which is kind of rough because we have legal marijuana. Luckily, the guy's all cool. Passed his drug test and the whole deal. And he actually got his work van in Tennessee before he got the keys to the house he bought in Tennessee.
That's incredible. I've never heard of anything like that happening.
And he's loving it, dude. And check this out. He sent us a text at work, dude. He's all, hey. He's all, they got me on the way out. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's all, yeah, California sent me a bill for $1,500 leaving tax.
Exit tax. I heard about that. What kind of state? Oh my God.
Through the real estate deal, they found out that he had sold his house in California, and with the sale of that house, purchased a house in Tennessee. Somehow it communicated to the state of California, and they did. They taxed him on the way out. That's criminal. That is absolutely criminal.
I mean, that sounds like desperation. Is what that
they took $1,500 out of him moving. That, to me, that's criminal. That's sad. And
guess who's not coming back?
Yeah, and guess who? And we've checked in with him, and guess who's very happy in Tennessee right now? My coworker.
I bet.
So if Jackson watches this, yo, brother, good move, dude.
Hey, he could be watching this, and I checked to see. I won't say exactly where they're at, but like from Chuck, it's still like 4 hours from Chuck's house, so it's a good distance across the state. Yeah. It's like wild. I guess Tennessee's one of them states that's really long. Like North Carolina's like 400 some miles. I know California's huge, but it's like really, really long. It takes a
Tennessee just got themselves a good HVAC technician, so that's good.
That is good. That is good. Now with Chuck, that makes at least two. I don't know how many more of our guys are from Tennessee, but they got at least two.
Good. Dude, Chuck's work is top notch, but he's an OG too. Back when we were doing videos, Chuck was doing videos, and his installs were always the best. Dude, one of my favorite channels to watch, man.
He's so good, man, because there's guys out there that are so full of themselves, just in general, like in life. But Chuck is like the opposite of that. That's why I like him so much. He's just like a humble guy. It's like, I'm just going to install this air conditioner. So the way he talks or whatever. It's even Southern for me. I have a Southern accent. His is super Southern, But and people say like, man, it's just a Southern guy, but he does a beautiful work. He sets everything up. He uses the iManifold. He's got apps and stuff. He's really good. I have a lot of respect for him.
There's always in my queue, when my queue shows up, a video post is HD from the UK. I like watching Heavy Diesel. Heavy Diesel does a lot of dairy work, and I love that. And then Chuck's videos, I always watch. I always make time. When those come up, I'm tuning in.
I need to find his channel real quick. Yeah, Heavy Diesel, which I think his name is John. He's a pretty sharp guy. He's one of them guys when I watched a couple of videos, like, this guy's way smarter than I am. I can already tell you, he's way smarter than me. He's really good.
Well, and
He
it's
didn't
always
say that.
But it's always fun to watch guys from like the UK and what they're getting into. Like their dairies are just as crappy as ours.
That's right. What's funny is like we said, "Yep, another thing fell into the tank." It's like this isn't going to be a good day. I was like, I don't know
The
what that
one thing
means, but it sounds bad.
I've done dairy refrigeration. So here's how it works in California. You have so many hours to get the milk below 50 degrees or it gets degraded. Now the truck's still going to pump the milk into the truck because they have to. Right. The cows. So people don't know this. Every cow that's giving milk is pregnant or has been pregnant. It's this gnarly cycle. The dairy cycle is gnarly. The milk comes out of the cows. Cow's temperature is 120 degrees. And what we usually use, this is a great learning tool for people watching, is you'll use what we call a plate cooler to pre-cool the milk before it goes into the tank. So water comes out of the earth usually around 70 degrees in California, right? So we could knock 120 degree milk right out of the cows from the detachers. So what goes up to the cows' fore udders are called detachers, and they have these pulsators, and they pulsate, and it's all electronic, and it goes on the cow, and it goes through. Some of them meter it to see how much milk each cow gives. She'll have an ear tag that's electronic, so they can see, oh, cow such and such gave this many gallons. This cow gave this many gallons. Then they know when they're getting to the end of their cycle, and then they have to artificially inseminate them again and get them pregnant. It is a gnarly cycle, but this is life.
It's farm life, right?
Yeah, and this is how it goes. So the milk comes out of the detachers. It's electronic, goes in. The milk pump pumps it through the plate exchanger. We can knock the temperature from 120 down to 70 degrees into the cooling tank, right? Now, the tank is this big stainless steel milk tank. It could be horizontal. It could be vertical. And it's got jackets in it, just like the beer tanks I cooled at the brewery, or horizontal, and the jackets are on the bottom. And that's what we're refrigerating, right? So you can't have a product without your evaporator fan. So think of your evaporator fan as the agitator in the milk tank. So we got to make the milk move on the cooling plate. And what happens a lot of times is the agitator motors die. It's like losing an evaporator fan motor. Now the milk's not moving on the plate. You get a hot call. You go out there. You think it's the condensing unit. And they're just regular condensing units like we use for refrigeration. Air conditioning guys can think of it as the outdoor unit. And you'll find the agitator's bad. Well, sometimes that paddle gets knocked out of its guide in the bottom.
Right.
Dude, nightmare until the tank's empty, right? Sometimes you got to try and fight that thing back in there because we got to get the milk cold or they're going to get degraded. It's a big deal. They lose a lot of money. So normally you can knock it down with house water, 70 degrees. 70 degrees has got to get below 50 degrees. And I forgot, dude, it's been so many years. I don't know if it's 2 hours or 5 hours. Someone probably can comment in what it is. There's a time frame. It gets below 50 in that time frame, then the milk's good. It's A-grade milk, and it's going to go in your thing at home for your cereal or whatever. Goes right to the creamery, and that's dairy life. And then John's life. But I've never asked John what the rules were in the UK, what the temperature has to get below for it before they degrade, or if they even degrade the milk in the UK.
Here's a good comment for you. It's our buddies at the Tool Pros. Dave knows more about milk than I know about life.
Yeah, I did it for a long time. So you guys don't know this because I've never talked about it. I started off refrigeration at the dairy service, doing dairy refrigeration.
That was one of the questions. Here, I'll put it up on the screen here because the guy wrote the question. And let's see, hold on. Well, let's say it says journey to HVACR. John Harrell, his journey to HVACR. How, when, why? It was a dairy farm. So go ahead.
Yeah, right out of high school, my buddy Jeff Nagano, we were like best friends, and his brother Tony I used to surf with all the time. I was dry. So I in high school, I was like the grocery bagger at the grocery store. I think we got $5 an hour back then. It was really good. I thought I was a king. Yeah. So I was sacking groceries for $5. Then my buddies at the fruit packing place goes, "Hey man, they got a graveyard shift out here. I think it paid like $6 or $7 an hour." I was like, "Fuck, I'm in." Sorry for cussing, Zach. And I went out to the fruit packing place, and I think we were stacking like frozen boxes of peaches or some crap for $6 or $7 an hour. And the shift was killer. It was like 3:30 to 2 in the morning or 3:30 in the afternoon till midnight. I can't remember. It was great for summertime, because we would party at work. It was stupid. Place was ill central. This is the 1980s, right? Dude, people were doing rails out there. The whole deal. It was,
take on me.
Yeah, the cocaine was going crazy back then.
Right.
My buddy called me and he thought, "Hey, you want to come work with me?" And I was like, "Well, what do you do?" He's like, "Well, I got this truck full of parts." And he brought the truck to my house to sell the job. You got to understand, I don't know squat about nothing. Zero. Right? I want to drink a beer and smoke one. He shows me the truck, dude. These are filter dryers. Here's my torch rig. Here's this. I was like, "How much does it pay?" And he's all, $10 an hour. I was like, "I'm in. I'm making more than my mom and dad. I'm living at home." I went there with them the next morning. They hired me. I'm with those dudes. I got this old Chevy truck that used to be a PG&E truck, which was our power company. They bought the old used up PG&E truck. Dude, I got a truck I get to drive home, right? I don't even own a car, Zach. I got a truck from my job and 10 bones an hour.
And you made more than your mom and dad. You said you made more than your mom and dad.
Yeah, dude, I'm a millionaire, dude. I'm living at home. The old man, hey, the stepdad finds out how much I make. Bam. You got to start paying rent, kid. I'm like, okay. Oh, it's fine, dude. I got money. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, whatever. That's fair. He's being a good parent.
How old were you? How old were you at this time?
1987. So I was born in 67. So 19 or 20.
Yeah.
19 turning 20. I didn't turn 20 until November. So I'm 19 years old. So I'm 19. Okay. And then he's all, "Hey, and you owe me for your phone bill." And we start going through the phone bill. "Which phone calls are yours?" Like, "Fuck. All right, cool." Whatever, dude. I'm making money. I bought a used Toyota pickup truck, and now I'm really the king, dude. I was like, I got a job that pays $10 an hour. I'm paying rent, and I bought a truck, dude.
That is pretty good, because when I went to work in 94, I made $4 and something an hour, whatever minimum wage was.
Dude, the HVAC out in California up here always paid good, but it was at the dairies, dude. So I'm getting pissed on by cows. I'll tell you the funniest story ever. I didn't know jack shit, and this guy that was training me was the best ever. His name was Dwayne McLaughlin. I'll never forget. Him and Greg were the install crew, and I don't remember Greg's last name. He's a Portuguese guy. And they were funny and goofy like me, right? But they were grown-ups, and I was still 19. And these guys, and this is probably why I still have the approach to HVAC that I have today. These guys were journeymen, and they were badasses. They did electrical, they did plumbing, they did HVAC, they welded metal, bent metal, they built all the crowd gates for the cows themselves. You name it, those two cats built everything. And they were training me. Well, I was so green and stupid. He's all, "Hey, go to the truck and get me a galvanized 3/4 inch union." Okay. Well, my dumb ass is at the truck. A lot of time went by. Old Dwayne comes out. He's all, "Hey, Shankland." He's all, "You don't know what you're looking for, do you?" And I was like, "No."
Well, at least it wasn't like a prank, because that's what they remember. They tell you to go find tools that never existed.
I was thinking, hey, I'll figure this out. No. He shows me what a 3/4 inch union was, and then he showed me how to plumb with galvanized plumbing for the water lines to the condensers. Everything was water cooled back then. And this guy showed me how to use a level, how to cut pipe, thread pipe, run pipe. My shit looks so good with the unit strut and everything because he took the time to show me. And I don't know how that company I worked for, obviously there was no pressure back then. It was all about craftsmanship. And it wasn't union. We were non-union. And those guys took the time to show me how to do that. This is even before I knew how to put gauges on a system. They're teaching me how to run plumbing pipe and hard pipe. And it was amazing. Dude, we were bros forever, ever. I hope that guy's still alive. He's got to be old timer now.
87. I mean, how old was he back then? Because that's what, 33 years ago.
Shit.
34 years ago.
He would have been in his 30s, late 30s.
Oh yeah, he should be around still.
Yeah. And then a lot of those tricks. So there was this, so when I went from the install crew, when I finally made it to the service department, because I started off in the install crew with those guys, which is a great place to learn. There's this guy there. I shit you not. His name was Ken Moore, like Sears, Kenny Moore. He was the one that showed me the trick to put the flux on the joints before you unsweat them. You know, the flux we use for the silver solder?
Right.
Have you seen that in my videos? You got to go
watch.
Talking
like Stay Silv or something like that?
Yes, Zach, You got to go watch my videos, Zach.
I just watched the video. It's a bunch of syringes on a roof.
Yeah. Welcome to Santa Cruz. If you put that Stay-Fill flux on a joint before you unsolder it, it'll come out clean where there's no globs on it, so you can put it back in like the compressor or whatever you're changing out. He showed me that trick, and it's real. It does work. Good times, man. It's just good times.
Well, what's the deal with all the syringes on the roof in Santa Cruz? It sounds like a happy place, but it don't sound happy on top.
Hey, these people here, the politics here is homeless central, and I'm going to be honest with you. All those videos you see of like Los Angeles, Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, Santa Cruz, they're not homeless, bro. There's two things. They're mentally ill and they're IV drug users.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what we did when we were kids or where they had them, if they had them in institutions or whatever they had. They need to bring that crap back because now they're everywhere. And as you saw in my video, they're just shooting up, throwing the crap on the roof. And so the cartels must be making billions of dollars because there is no law enforcement against heroin or methamphetamine. And I don't need to get into that because I really don't care. Whatever. There's no one stopping the drugs getting into those people's arms, and my county gives them free needles now because they think we're going to give them free needles so they don't catch AIDS. Well, great. So I'm going to catch AIDS now because I'm on the roof getting stabbed by the needle, or they're at the beach. We've had so many kids getting paled by these needles, and these poor kids have to get AIDS tests, HIV tests, hepatitis tests, because they're stepping on these needles. And yet the local governments are going, it's fine. It's fine. F you. You're right wingers and you're monsters. And yeah, well, what about the kids? I thought you guys were all about the kids. No. We're all about the homeless and the drug addicts. And it's a big sham, dude. The whole thing's a sham. I shouldn't say that because you'll probably get booted off YouTube if you post that. You might want to edit that.
It's too late. Now we have the same thing here. We have in Wilmington, which I looked up Santa Cruz, and Santa Cruz they said it was like 64,000 people. And I'm guessing there's a whole lot more around it. So, but Wilmington's the same way. I mean, I used to work downtown in Wilmington. You go up on the bar rooftops, and God knows what you're going to find on top of the bar rooftop. And then you go to the lake, which is Greenfield Lake, and all it is guys shooting up with needles around the lake in the bushes and stuff, and you find it everywhere. It's like little porcupines living in the bushes made out of syringes.
Do you guys have the tent cities like we do, where it's like, I'll make a video of it and I'll call it Shitbag City. I'll do that. No, I will. I will do that. As a matter of fact, I'll do that for my next video because it's easy to do. Because all I have tomorrow lined up is an ice maker. It'll be a boring video. You guys seen all my ice maker videos. I'll do that. I'll drive out there and I'll make a Shitbag City video for you guys.
Where's it at? Is this like part of the town? It's
right in town. I'll drive right from my house and take you. It's everywhere. But do you guys have that too in Wilmington?
We don't have that.
Where it's just tent cities.
Well, you know what? It's not tent cities. We have areas where you see a lot of people live in it. You don't really see like rows and rows of tents or anything like that. But like at the lake, people live in the bushes and stuff like that. It sounds weird, but like at the underpasses
No,
for the
no, that
interstate,
sounds perfect.
they live
That
underneath
sounds
there and stuff.
That sounds normal for me.
sounds like Santa Cruz, baby.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, and it's weird, dude. I honestly don't know how you fix it. And I don't want to sound like, oh, F those guys, I'm against them, because I'm not. I understand that alcoholism and drug abuse it's a disease. It really is. Those people can't help themselves, but I don't know what we did when I was a kid coming up, what we did with those people, and I don't know what you're going to do with them now.
I don't know, man. I feel the same way you do. I feel like they're going through a lot of stuff, and I don't know what it is. I think it's different for everybody. But like, I talked to a guy named Nathan Knefley, who I don't know if you know who this guy is, but he's on Instagram as Bearded HVAC. I don't go on there a lot, but I interviewed him, and he got mixed up with that stuff. And he's an HVAC guy now, owns his own company, and he tried to kill himself 3 times. It's a whole crazy story that, you know, every time he tried it, like the gun wouldn't work and stuff like that. It's just crazy.
He was meant to stay.
Yeah, he was meant to stay for real.
He was meant to stay with us, Zach.
I'm going to bring him back too, because that podcast isn't available anymore. I'm going to bring him on this show. You can tell that story again, because it's wild. It's
oh man, I struggle with drinking, dude. I love to drink alcohol, man. I ain't gonna lie. You guys have watched my live show.
I like to watch the last half hour. That's why I go, let's see what happened the last half hour. Dave's asleep on the floor for the last half hour.
I love to drink. I ain't gonna lie about it. What the hell?
You can't lie about it. It's on TV.
I don't. The funny thing is, everyone thinks I get high still, but honestly, I don't smoke weed anymore, man. I don't do any drugs. I don't get high. But I do like to drink, and I usually drink beer, and occasionally I'll have some Jameson's whiskey, and that's about it. But the good news is I try to do it at home. So if I'm live broadcasting and I'm getting a little tipsy, hey, I'm in the garage. If you see Bob Marley, I'm at home.
if I'm sure the guys kind of enjoy that. And I don't think it's really a problem unless you're waking up in a ditch somewhere, you're trying to drive around or something. I think, you know.
Hey, the hard part is I'll get a real HVAC question, and I got the buzz going, and I'm not in the mood to answer HVAC stuff, dude. I'm like, nah, I'm on my rant right now.
I watched that live stream you did. I don't know if it was the last one you did. It's like 2.5 hours, and you got a question like because I'd watch for a while, then I'd skip and see what happened next, skip and see what happened. And toward the end, you got like a question. It's like this huge question. It's like, can you explain refrigeration and condensers and evaporators?
And I skipped right by him. He was talking about in wintertime. I know exactly what you're talking about. He's all, yeah. Hey, can you talk about the condensing unit in wintertime versus summer? And my brain's all, hey, bro, the only thing different is your ambient temperature and if you're over condensing or not. And I could not dialogue, dude. I was just, hey, and oh yeah, so and so's talking about this.
yeah. Well, you know, I don't blame you, man, because even if it's the front of the stream, man, they ask her questions like, "Will you explain everything there is about HVAC in like 2 minutes?"
It's like, funny because of that guy's question. I thought about putting a dry erase board behind me because I don't explain things good. But if I have the chalkboard behind me, I could have totally drawn it out for him and what's happening. So yeah, you're going to back liquid up in the condenser in wintertime. You need to figure out how not to do that. You want to keep your head pressure up. And it was a real simple answer to his question. I was buzzed when that was
hopefully he's watching this stream.
The one thing you'll get the one thing you'll get from NorCal Dave is I'm always honest. And I ain't gonna lie to you guys. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I do know. Do I get to work on chillers at work? Yeah. How far do we dig into them? Not very. Do I work on old pneumatic systems from the 1960s and 70s on skyscrapers? Yeah. All the way from the air compressor itself to every stupid pneumatic diaphragm that fails. And I've changed out 1 million of them. And I had some die today. I actually had overheat calls today. It was good. Yeah, I had like 8 of them. And I had a water heater call. We fix all the water heaters on campus. Now, we don't have to do this is funny. On domestic hot water, we don't have to fix the leaks. Every heating water pipe on campus, we have to fix. There's a lot of times I'm just a Steve Lab at my day job. If I could ever get the authority to film at my day job, I'd have the best YouTube channel in the world, but we're not allowed to film at work.
Yeah.
And that's why you're stuck with prep tables and ice makers with me and walk-in boxes. That's about what I do on my side jobs.
I don't think they care, man. I think they enjoy it. I think a lot of it's personality stuff, just having fun, and that applies to anywhere you go to do your job.
It is interesting. You know, there's a lot of YouTube channels out there where people are just so dry and trying to be rigid and professional. And I get it. It's a very professional trade we're in. I never talk about the safety of stuff a lot. And then, of course, I've broken out that little multimeter in my quick bag, that little Unity. And
oh, dude, I have a picture of that thing. I was like, what is this thing? Because like everybody's like, I got to have the fluke. And Dave breaks out. Look at it. There it is.
That's a solid meter, dude. That thing is not a joke. Believe it or not, that meter is legit. That ain't no joke of a meter. Now I did replace the leads on it with real good leads. But I'm going to tell you right now, dude, the build quality of the Unities are good. Now there's some knockoffs that look just like the Unities. They're crap. That actual brand is not bad. Now, is it the DL 428 or the 428B? No, but I bought that one because it does DC amps for the mini splits. Because I didn't want to. I got pissed off at UEI because I love the DL 429. I haven't had a glitch with it. Billy Noth was the first one to put that video up. It wasn't me. And people should know that. Everyone's all, oh, yeah, that's Dave's meter. No. Billy put that up first. That meter's epic. But they did realize that they were missing DC amps, so they made the DL429B. Great meter. You get now it's down to like $169. You get a full multimeter with a dual temperature meter.
That's right.
Where are you going to do that? Nowheres. And the thing's solid as a rock.
You know what's funny about that that meter you're talking about is they said whenever you use both the K-type thermocouples, like on the pipe, he said if you have them on like where they, I don't know, like a conductive surface, they'll malfunction. You know who told me that? Tom Powell told me that.
Yeah, Tom had some problems, but where he was using, I've never came across that for using it on refrigeration, maybe for water pipes. Yeah, he did have and then he told me he hooked up a different amp clamp to the top and it fried it. But I still use that thing with the field piece heads because what's cool is the UEI takes all the field piece heads, and I still have the micron gauge field piece head that's never failed, even though a bunch of my other micron gauge. Yeah. And then it broadcasts to your phone Bluetooth.
That's
what
right.
a deal. What a deal. That's a great meter. And Billy was the first one to promote that meter. And then at that time, back when I can't remember who the guy was for field piece. He used to hook Billy up with all the gear, you and me. And he gave me the vacuum pump from field piece, the recovery unit, and the probes. What was his name?
The guy I talked to, I don't know if it's the same guy. It was Craig
Remember back
Rodriguez.
in the day?
Craig Rodriguez.
But oh God, who was the guy who used to do the videos before him? He's the one that sent out all the gear. He's a really nice guy.
But Russ?
It was Russ sent me and Billy all that gear. And I'll tell you what, dude, that field piece vacuum pump, I love the hell out of it. It's my number one go-to. The recovery machine I ended up parting ways with because AK HVAC sent me the Navac. That Navac is nice. So the difference between the field piece and the Navac is the Navac has one extra little condenser in front. Now, where I live, I don't have high ambience. You're still going to need to get your tank and some water or some ice where all you guys live. You're not ever going to get away from that. Is there a magic bullet on the recovery machine? I don't think so. I'll tell you what I really liked about the field piece Mr. 45. So lightweight. And the thing never failed on me, and it's still working now because Frank has it. My buddy Frank, I gave it to my buddy Frank. He has a refrigeration business, and he also works with me at the day job. And the field piece is still working with the Navac. It's just it's like that. That thing is a piece of hardware, man.
It's a beast. I have one in the bag.
Dude, it is legit. It's as good as the Mr. 45. I don't know if I can say it's better. The only downside is it's heavier It's supposed to have one more run of return bands on the condenser than the Mr. 45.
And they make the fill piece one. Navac makes the Mr. 45.
I wasn't allowed to say that, but since you said it, I'll comment on it.
Hey, maybe I'm not allowed. I don't know, but I think everyone knows that now.
Hey, but since you said it, Zach, yeah, it's the same electronics.
Ooh,
it's the
cat's out
same
of the
guts
bag.
and inside.
Yeah.
But the Nerd has one extra set of condensers that the Mr. 45 doesn't have. So it's basically a Mr. 45 that's upgraded. See the double condenser there?
I'll see if I can make it bigger.
And they are they both have the micro channel condensers, but the Nerd has one extra condenser that the field piece doesn't have. But basically they're the same vacuum pump. And I'm glad you said that because I was told not to say that way back when, but it's been so many years. Who cares? I don't even think Andrew would care.
No, I don't think so because I've heard it like 20 times since then that people saying that they make them. In fact, I said it a couple of those times.
What's the price difference? So if you got a Mr. 45 compared to the Nerd, is it like what? What are we looking at? Maybe $100?
Let's see what
for
happens.
Extra.
Oh, there's TrueTech. Okay, that's $845 for the NRDD, and
that hurts.
Yeah,
maybe $100. I think we're probably looking at $100 for an extra condenser. But the lightweightness of the Mr. 45, you might want that, dude.
Dude, this one's $860. Well, that's not the same store. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find five. No, that's not right. That's a vacuum pump. All right. Well, this one says it's $868. So it ain't that much different.
I'll tell you what. If you want lightweight, buy the Mr. 45. You won't be bummed out. And if you want that extra condenser, buy the Nerd. It's good. Their vacuum, I love that. Did you get a chance to play with that vacuum pump from Field Piece?
I got a chance to play with the 8CFM. I tell you what, the one thing that I love the most is like the oil change. I really like changing the oil in that thing. And it even has a light behind it. It's like some guy's car or something like that with the undercarriage lighting. I was like, this is the hippest refrigerant recovery or vacuum I've ever used because it's so fast and you can just open the thing and then move it out and then put another one in there. It's great.
Yeah, they sent me that one. What I've noticed with that too, Zach, is like, so I'll get on a lot of systems that are dirty, right? You'll see the oil in that oil, where you said the light was. You'll watch it getting white real quick, and your system's wet. It's almost like a sight glass. And then you're going to be changing a butt ton of oil out of that thing. And you have to keep doing it, but man, it's almost like a sight glass. I love that vacuum pump. I'm so thankful to Field Piece for sending me those. And then the probes, I was hard on the probes, and it's probably why they stopped their relationship with me. I was really hard at the beginning on the Field Piece probes, but I had to be honest with everybody watching. And I think you might have had the same problem too. Their first generation app was garbage, dude. The probes were great. The range was great. The app was terrible.
It was really glitchy too. I mean, it wasn't just the app was like set up badly. It was just it would crash a lot for some people. I think Android guys it crashed a lot, and there was a whole bunch of issues with it. There's a whole bunch of people talking bad about it. But now that they just put on Measure Quick, they don't care anymore. So
they fixed their app. So they in all props to Field Piece because their probes are superior in my opinion to the Testo probes, other than I do still have that hot wire anemometer from Field Piece, from Testo. And I did get the Testo vacuum probe. Ooh, nice.
I saw that. Oh, you had the app going.
Now a lot of guys have asked me how much positive pressure can you put to it. I'm not putting positive pressure to that thing. I don't want to kill it. I'm already having bad luck with micron gauges, but that micron gauge and their app. The one thing Testo does really well is the app to the viewer is the best. It's amazing. And their new app.
Okay.
Have you tried the new app?
No, I've only tried the old one, so I can't say.
Go download it. Very Measure Quick looking. Very nice.
Oh, do you think they copied it?
No, it's not a copy.
I don't want to say that maliciously.
But you do get the gauges. But Jim Bergman's app. Look, here's what's great. I have enough Testo probes and enough Field Piece probes. Jim has let us use both of those on one app. Yeah, and if you guys aren't doing it, you have to do it. Measure Quick, it's free. Measure Quick is free. And even a dummy like me can get through a packaged AC with Measure Quick. I really mean that. If you have all your probes hooked up on a package unit, think about this, Zach, and I know you do a lot of that. You've done a lot of package units. With that app, you'll pretty much find your problem.
I think you're right. It's pretty good. We even tested them. I think back in the day, I had the field piece probes, and I had a package unit before, and I was testing them, and it gives you all the little ideas on what's wrong with it because it's my unit at the house. It's like there's something wrong. So yeah, I know something wrong with it. Superheat's like 1 degree. But ironically, I'll be doing that tomorrow. But I don't have the field piece probes anymore. I gotta go check out a package unit. But I just have the yellow jacket probes. I have the yellow jacket ones, but it doesn't hook up with Measure Quick or anything like that. So you got to use their app. So,
but does their app have diagnostics? Like even the field. So what's cool about field piece? If you do buy field piece probes or testo probes, their apps are adequate enough to get you through units. And I'm sure Yellow Jackets is the same.
I'm opening it up right now to see. I don't know if it's updated or anything like that. Because sometimes the stuff updates because I won't use them for a while, and then I open it up, it's totally different. Well, I don't know the
measure. I got it. I'll tell anybody watching this podcast right now, you have to download the Measure Quick app and use it. It's game changing. It really, what Jim's done with that thing and his crew is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it does a lot more stuff than a lot of the other apps. I think field piece, they do airflow. Now you have to plug into airflow, but Measure Quick will calculate it for you, which is nice. Just like the iManifold, and it seemed pretty accurate a lot of the time. But the Yellow Jacket app's more basic. It just says you have your temperatures and stuff, but it doesn't do anything like calculations or tell you what's wrong. It doesn't do anything like that.
See, field piece will still calculate stuff for you through their app. It's just the way Measure Quick laid out their app is just so nice visually. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, no. It's nice to that is actually important. You don't want to keep opening up an app that's ugly. People say they don't care, but you're like, if it can look pretty, then you want it to look pretty, and it does look pretty. Yeah. It has those cool gauges. And
I guess what I'm trying to say, as a technician, I'm more comfortable going to the Measure Quick app because of the layout and the way it looks and the information I get. I'm going to use that more than I'm going to use Testo's stock app or Field Piece's stock app. It's just boom. And you can scroll through. You can look at all your stuff. Even for us refrigeration guys, it's not really set up for refrigeration. But, man, there's some good intel on there. For he's doing beta on it.
They just added some. Well, I don't know. It's probably wrong, but they did add some stuff for refrigeration. But is it like supermarket refrigeration that is built around?
Yeah, he added so you could get multiple coils, multiple superheats. It all helps.
It's nice. It's good. I haven't used it in a while. It's not on my phone because I don't have anything that hooks up with it right now. I should probably get something like Testo.
Well, but let's be honest. So if we're gonna go real world and your boss is stacking calls on you and you got 10 in the hole, it's summertime. Let's just say it's summertime and you're stacking. Probably not going to all that stuff and hooking all that stuff up. You just don't have time in a day.
I'm getting stub gauges.
That's its own. Happen. Yeah. You go stubby gauges and you make your diagnosis. And that's a whole nother conversation. Or you could make YouTube videos on that for years. It's like, we do have these tools if you have the time to dig into things. But if it's a summer day, it's 100 degrees outside, you're coming into the shop and your boss goes, here's your work orders and here's your coworkers' work orders. No sooner than you drive down the road, the dispatcher's like, hey, I got a hot one here. Now you got all those, plus it's piling on top. Yeah, we're probably not hooking up Measure Quick today, boys or girls.
Yeah.
What do you find? How do you find that?
I think my go-to is the stubbies. Until I see something else, because I'm so comfortable with them. I just love those things, and I use the analog ones. I mean, I'll take a few temperatures because a lot of times you don't really need all that stuff. But I mean, it's there in case I want to bring it all out. And I do like to use it. But putting the stubbies on is real fast.
I agree. I grab my analogs or my go-to when I'm making my diagnostics, and I got other places to go to after where I'm at right now. I mean, I'm just being honest, dude. It's just When it's on, and we're all different. And when you do have time, or you get a troubled unit, yeah, we're going to hook up the measure quick. I got something that's kicking my ass, and I've been back here twice now. I got to figure this thing out. Yeah, then I'm going to dig in. I'm just trying to, since we're live and when we're talking, I'm just trying to get it out there. You might have some young guys watching that. How it really goes. No, young guys, we're not going to hook up measure quick on every call. We don't have time for that. But if you're so green and you don't know what's going on, it might help you out.
You want some guidance. It does help you. It gives you some idea, at least. It doesn't necessarily what's going on, but it gives you an idea.
Yeah,
I feel the same way.
I mean, you walk up, you got a dead condenser fan motor and the condenser's dirty. Come on, you're going to change the condenser fan motor, wash the condenser, gauge up on it. Hopefully the condenser dries out enough to where you get a real reading, because now you've already washed the condenser. Your readings are going to be a little skewed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to think about that. I've done that. I always end up doing that, boning myself. And then you got to wait around for the condenser to dry out and get a good look at it. And sometimes I'll take a Delta T in there and go, yeah, all right, my split looks good. I think we're all right. It's just a dead condenser fan motor. But my
go-to, Zach, is always the multiple offender.
Yeah, they all have like 6 problems.
That's always the run on my videos, is the damn multiple offenders will always grab up and bite your butt, dude. It always does. So if you just do the condenser fan motor and run, you're probably coming back.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You do got to take a look at least. Hey, what's the filter looking like? We're talking air conditioning. What's that blower motor look like? You know, what's the set point? What I always find, because I always did, when I did air conditioning, it was always commercial buildings. I did a lot of rooftop units. And so you would go change the condenser fan motor out, check everything out, look good. But if you didn't go down in the office and see what everybody did to that thermostat, they buried it because it got hot in there. You're iced up coil in 2 days.
That's
You're coming back
every single time. It's kind of a funny example. I used to do these apartments, and every single time it would be like, I call it the mystery second stage. You turn it down till the mystery second stage was going to kick on with all that cold air that was stored up until that point. But they would always be on like whatever the mercury stat, what the minimum was. It was all the way over. And it's the same kind of place where I go in there and it's like, there was no manifolds and measure quick. It was just get the stubby gauges. It's like, what is the word? Triage, or the emergency room. That's what it's like. It's the emergency room. We don't need any of that crap. If you got more time, you can go have a physical later where we bring out all the stuff and then we tell you what your delta T on the evaporator is. But just get it cold is the goal. And that's fine.
That's real world. I remember one time I went into this office building. I'll never forget. This is a funny story. And I was only there to do the maintenance. And it's like, I don't know, it's like 12 rooftop units, big office complex, cubicles galore. And I got to the one spot, and I was always diligent enough for my boss to check every thermostat in the office, just because I didn't want to do the maintenance and have to come back for iced up quote. Because they would always, what's weird is summers are cold here where I live, right? So for them to actually get some dehumidification and feel comfortable, they would always put the thermostat like 68, 66 degrees, right?
Chilly.
Yeah, but that's what they needed to feel good, because it's foggy in the mornings here. It's cold. Then the sun would come out in the afternoon, and that's what they needed to dehumidify and feel good. But then when we'd get the hot weather, those coils would ice up because the stat was set too low, right? So you did get an 80 or 90 degree day for a week or two, and it would just go to hell. And I was, so I'm in this office checking the stats. I kid you not, these 4 ladies, and I was younger then. I was like 10 years younger. This is probably like about 15 years ago. So I was in my 30s. These ladies came up at the thermostat and cornered me, and they go, "Hey, you're not turning that up." And I'm like, "What?" And they're all, "Yeah, we're going through the change. We want that air conditioner as cold as we can get it." Yeah, dude. They cornered me, and they're like, "We want that thing as cold as we can get it."
That's so funny. I like that. We're going through the change. I mean, that's too much information.
Bro, I was so scared. I was so scared of them. I was like, "Whatever you want." And I did. I went right upstairs, found their air conditioner, put a free stat right in the coil. Dude, and I told them, "You can set it as low as you want."
Oh my god, I'd be scared of them ladies. Any lady going through the change, I'll be afraid of. I'll tell you what.
Dude, we used to take the Y terminal through the refrigeration like I think it was the Ranco. You could just use the regular Ranco like a A12701. Put that probe in the evaporator coil of the air conditioner and break the Y terminal. So if they set the stat too low, the coil would ice up. That stat in the coil turn off the compressor till it got warm enough. Bring it back on, and I'd booby trap it, dude, on them.
I used to call my little pre-stat. Hold on.
Yeah, I used to call it booby trapping. That way, yeah, those ladies were gonna kill me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had to do the exact same thing. We did use something. I don't know if it was Johnson Controls or something like that, but it had a bulb on it. We put it on the suction line. But I'm trying to find, there was a clip on it. I had like 5 of them I'd carry, and this little clip on it was set to break at like 30 degrees or 28 degrees or something. Then it would reset back to whatever. But I put it so the system would go into delay, at least it would have a few minutes before it tried to start again. So if someone tried to go crazy and like vary the temperature, it would stop it from freezing up. But I can't find it on here.
That's old school commercial tricks right there. Yeah, they would make the click-ons that would go on the return band. I didn't have that. And then there was a surgery center we did where the surgeons, dude, they got so pissed at us. We changed every unit at the surgery center. Then I had the docs calling me, and they had me meet them one morning, and they're like, bro, the lights they wrench on you with put out so much BTUs.
Oh, yeah.
That those guys are just dripping sweat. And he made me go in there one morning to show me what they're going through. He's all, I need it colder in here. And I agreed. Train actually made free stats for those, because if you're working in hospitals, the only package units that met the qualifications back when I was doing commercial was Train. They were the only units that met the airflow requirements for surgery rooms. It might still be that. Maybe you can read the comments. There's probably a lot of commercial guys in there that know that. If you're going to work on a hospital building that requires a certain amount of airflows, it's always Train. Carrier never met the requirements. I don't know why. So it was always Train stuff, but they had their own free stats. I called Train. They sent me out all the free stats, put them on. Dude, it worked so good. That guy was so happy. And they made Train had their own free stats for those units. And it's a great way to booby trap us. I call it booby trapping.
Right.
If you have a customer that's always going to peg the stat, you could get through a unit that's not going to ice up. Now, I don't know how that would apply in like your area or Eric M's area where you guys are in those high humidity areas, because out here, I'm not dealing with the humidity like you guys are when it's hot.
Well, I was trying to kind of find something that looks similar. It looks sort of like this.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this isn't the same one. But there's also
similar though, how it hooks up on the return band. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was a couple different sizes. Then we used one that looked more like, this is not the same thing, but had like the bulb on it and stuff like that. That would sense the temperature of the suction line and would shut things off. If it reached, and it wasn't like it reached 32, it was right above 32 because it was a superheated suction line. But I can't remember which one that was.
I probably shouldn't call it a booby trap. I should call it a workaround and sound more professional.
An engineering update.
But it's interesting to know that the manufacturers do have those for that exact problem.
Yeah,
and you can buy you can buy it for your specific unit from the OEM. But that doc was right, man. He was in there melting, and we actually got the dude with those free stats. You could get the room temps down really good.
Yeah.
Basically, so if people are in the comments watching, what ends up happening is that free stat kind of overrides the thermostat, only in the sense that if they peg the stat down so the unit would never shut off, now you're going to cycle off that free stat. Does that make sense, Zach? Did I do that right?
Yeah, that's right.
And you're going to drop, but you're only dropping out the compressor. The indoor fan keeps running.
Yeah.
And so you're just going to break the Y terminal. And if it was 2-stage, I can't remember what we did if it was 2-stage. Maybe you're dropping out. I can't remember.
Well, some of them are isn't dependent on having Y1 and Y2 going. So if Y2 drops out, the whole thing stops.
I think that's how it was. I think you drop out Y2 and then Y2 and Y1 would drop out. I'm pretty sure.
I know that's the ones that I dealt with. I don't know about the bigger commercial stuff, but the ones I dealt with, if you lost Y1, because Y2 was like like the unloader. It's almost like this. There's like a solenoid in the back of the compressor that caused it to go into stage 2, and it would, if stage 1 wasn't running, it didn't matter because it wasn't running at all. Then
I think that's where it was. I think you drop out Y1, and if Y1's not calling, you can't call Y2. So I'm correcting myself. I think you would drop out first stage, and that would make first stage and second stage drop out if it was a 2-stage unit. But great stuff.
Yeah,
fun times.
That's funny.
That's funny. We've all been through the same battle. So let me ask you this question. So in the high humidity areas, like where you're at, how many do you get a lot of iced up coils? Is that real common or not?
I don't think it's any more common here than it is for you. I just think that, well, it's probably a little bit more common because if you don't have enough moisture in the air, you're not going to have that frost buildup like we have here. But the same situation has to happen. You get the coil below 32 degrees. So, but I think we'd probably be more apt to freeze up a little bit with that frost because we have the water to spare in the air. So I guess if you go out to the desert, you probably get around that. But I don't know how humid. If it's not very humid, I guess you get around that to a certain degree. But here, if it goes below 32, you're getting frosted immediately.
So let me ask you this. What is a normal set point for a residential house out there to feel comfortable in summertime?
I think, well, it's one of the subjective things because if it's set up right, then you say you could probably do higher. But when I walk into a house, like, who cares how it was set up? When I actually walk into the house, a lot of times it's like 70 or 72, somewhere in there. If you get down to 60s, I don't know if the Delta T is like, you have like 68, the Delta T on the coil, that takes it down to like the mid 30s, upper 30s. So you're in the danger zone. So about around 70. People don't push your luck too much.
So I'll give you an example. So we don't have a lot of air conditioning. There's no air conditioner in my house, but where my dad lives out in the Central Valley, their summer temperatures, I'm not kidding. It's between 98 and 100 degrees all summer, dry heat, right? It's that deserty, dry heat feel. He could keep his house 78 degrees. If I come in from the outside and it's 100 and I go into 78, I'm comfortable, right? It feels cool because there's no humidity. Now remember, there's really low. They're like 14% humidity out there. So I go into a building that's 78 degrees, dude, I might even feel cold.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But I do vacation where we go down to like Cancun, Mexico a lot in those areas. And I think last year I went to Cozumel. We always go down there. Kim's got her friend has a condo down there we get to rent and stay at. So their summer's like 88 degrees, high humidity. That feels hotter to me than 105 at the old man's house. And I'm trying to think where we maybe we put the AC, we do turn it down a little bit lower. And that condo's got mini splits. So maybe we'll keep them at like 74, 73 degrees.
Right.
It feels nice in there.
That's about right.
But you don't get that change like where it's the dry heat and you go into the building, it's like, oh fuck, I'm cold.
Yeah.
When it's humid to the air conditioner feels different. It's so weird how this whole thing works in different climates.
I'm trying to see what mine's set on. Mine's set on 72 right now, but it's not running.
But the difference is in those where it's humid, that AC never turns off. It'll make it the set point and do its thing. But like out at my old man's place, it's going to get the set point and idle for a while because there's no latent load on there.
Right. It's a big difference.
It's a big difference, man.
Our splits are they can be really, really small. So it takes a while to get the sensible set point.
And this is the one thing I found on YouTube, like, just from being an observer, because I've watched all your guys' channels over the years, right? We've been at this thing over 10 years on YouTube. And I've watched you guys and listened, and you probably don't remember, but back in the day, I was like, I'd watch all the things, maybe make a nice little comment and lay back. And I was like the shy little butterfly back in the day. And I was like, dude, these guys can't find out I'm this crazy knucklehead, you know, but we all became friends. We all became friends as time went on, and it was cool. I was like, oh God, they're going to think I'm a nut job because I'm squirrely. And, but it was neat watching everybody all over the country because of YouTube, all the different conditions we run in, how you guys run your air conditioning. I mean, Ralph Ralph's channel was killing it. All the stuff he went through in Georgia and
Mm-hmm.
even Israel and all the stuff in Louisiana. And then, who was that guy that used to be out there? The older gentleman that was really sharp, that was like out in Phoenix, and he would always comment about all the stuff out there. It's like putting your head in the oven when it's 110. Remember that guy? I can't remember his name.
I'm trying to remember. I know Larry Cole's out there, but I don't know if that's the guy you're talking
that
about.
was Larry. Yeah,
okay.
It was Larry. And so you had all this. What was cool about YouTube back then for me, because I'd already been in the trade a long time, like yourself, was all now putting the whole picture together of what we got with all these different climates and how it is really different.
The first thing that I really noticed when I got on YouTube, and it had been a little while, I looked around, looked at my tools. I said, man, these aren't good enough anymore. That's the first thing I noticed. Like, what? I'm using all these tools that look like they came from generations ago, because I thought that's what they were. I thought that's what you're supposed to use, And I get on the internet here, and I go to YouTube, and these guys are like, these are the S-Man 2s. I'm like, I gotta have S-Man 2s. Those are the best, So I bought them, and I had all this stuff. I was like,
Guilty.
I'm the best tech. Yeah. I'm the greatest tech of all time now. Get out of my way. I have these little clamps. One broke. Oh crap. Yeah.
I used to tune in to watch like you and Reardon, and I think even Ralph was in a little bit. Lav's not so much. Lav's never got high tech till later. He's still not high tech. He's old school. I love that guy. But I remember there was this big battle about you got to have a different set of gauges for each refrigerant. When I'm sitting there going, I'm a fucking refrigeration guy. I only own one set of analogs, and it goes on everything all day long. For 10 hours a day. I was just to watch and just laugh, dude.
They did argue about that a lot.
They did. And then I was like, well, all I have is these Yellow Jacket analogs, and all you guys had all this stuff going and everything was going crazy. I was like, I probably better step up my game a little bit. But I tell you what, I did have a Phoenix UEI meter that I bought.
I remember those.
Because all my field piece meters died in the rain. And then when Billy posted up that he got the DL429, and I was already a UEI fanboy because my meter it's still alive.
Yeah.
Same with I have the original Fluke 12, a Fluke 16, the originals. In 1990, I got the very, very first generation amp probe, digital amp probe. I I was running the analog with the little, the analog one. In 1990, I bought that, and I was sold on digital gauges back then. But just being a mechanic, I didn't have the money to invest. That was the only digital meter I had until I bought a couple field piece ones, and then the field pieces died, and I bought the UEI one. The UEI one held up. And back then, people were like, "That's garbage, bro. Why are you buying that?" Oh,
that's exactly what they said. You're right. I had field piece meters all the time, and at that time, UEI was like junk brand. It's like, don't buy that thing, but it turned out they were pretty good.
Still live. And I did buy the Fluke ones. We all knew Fluke was the best, and I had a Fluke 12 and a Fluke 16. And then that UEI was so good. That UEI lasted from until 2003 until I bought the DL429. That was my only meter. I still had the Flukes on the truck as backups.
Yeah.
And the only reason I replaced it was because I watched YouTube and got sucked into the app. Billy's all, it's got an app. And I was like, wow.
You look at your meter. What a piece of crap.
Yeah,
There's no app.
Yeah, I'm like, back then I was like 40-something years old going, I got to get the app.
That's so funny. Yeah, if you think about it, yeah, we're all like 30s and 40-year-old people going gaga over like.
Yeah, meanwhile.
Like, I have the 902, but not the 902 FC.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the one I had it's still working without a glitch. I didn't need to spend the $200 on that meter, but I did it. I was like, it's so funny, dude.
And just compare that with how often you use it, like use the app, especially on the multimeters. It's like the ones that I had that had apps, like I had the FC. I was like, I never used it ever,
Yeah, I think we went through that phase with multimeters. You're probably not going to use the app that much.
Yeah.
The gauges, yeah. The probes, I mean. the probes, you're going to use the app because, well, how else are you going to see the probes? You got to look at the app.
That's right.
But it was red hot. I don't know if that's going to, what do you think about that, man? You think we're just going to go back to staring at the gauge or the device? What do you think?
I think I like the whole probe idea. I think the probes is the best because you have, I don't know, it's like all these sets. I guess it's the same thing all over again going, ooh, wow. You have all these different probes. Like I got to have the mini vane. I have to have the big vane. I have to have the static pressure. And it's really cool. So I think those are here to stay. And I still think they're cool. Like right
I agree.
here, it's like, I like them.
Hey, the hot wire anemometer probe. So I don't know if I've ever told you this. Do you know what a fume hood is? So at my day job, fume hoods are in the science buildings where the kids. I'm not allowed to say that. Okay, I'm not allowed to say that. I'm supposed to say students. I'll get in trouble for saying kids. The students or the I'm in the science buildings. I'm not even supposed to say that. See, I'm so bad. I got to get this right. The researchers. So the researchers in the labs have these fume hoods, and there could be toxic chemicals and whatever. No matter where the sash position is, which is the lid that closes down and opens, we call that the sash, has to be 100 feet per second, no matter what the position is. Now, usually we got fans on the roof that run on vari drives. I'm just trying to give a basic generalization of this. You might have a science building that has 100 of these things, and I might have 2 monstrous giant fans on the roof that runs on vari drives. No matter where the SAS positions are on all these fume hoods, it has to be 100 feet per second. So the researchers don't get asphyxiated by the toxic chemicals.
Right. You don't gas out your researchers.
That hot wire anemometer. Now, Fieldpiece makes, I do have both at the day job. I do have the Fieldpiece standalone one that reads out on the screen. It's really good. There's super expensive ones some of the guys at work have. And there's 3 of us at work have the Testo. The Testo probe with your phone. We all have these at work. Everyone's got a smartphone, right? This is my personal smartphone. If I showed you guys my work phone, you guys would laugh. It might be in my pocket. Let me see if it's in my pocket.
It better flip open.
It does.
It's a
flip phone. It is a flip phone. So the state of California gives me a flip phone. This is Dave Shankland's phone that I use at work, and I use my money to use it at work. But it's fine. I'll tell you guys, the hot wire anemometer from Testo, money. I love that thing. If you guys are doing airflows, get that thing. And I don't know why Fieldpiece doesn't have one yet.
I don't know either. They really should.
Because the Fieldpiece does make a standalone one. Dude, it is really good. You'll see Joe Shayer. I think Joe uses it.
I've used it too back in the day.
That's a great one. And the test, but what's nice about the Testo is it's this big in your little tool bag. You know how it is. You're going to be humping stuff everywhere. You got this little thing that folds out and extends.
That's why
for what I'm using. I think the complaint on it was it's not long enough for big ductwork, but I'm not using it on big ductwork. I just got to average out these fume hoods at work. And every call you get on like a fume hood is a life safety call. Like if one went down right now, guess what our interview just did? I get 4 hours minimum overtime. I'm at work. And I'm going to go check these things out. Yeah, it's a great job. We got 3 openings right now. So any of you guys are watching this in NorCal, if you go to UCSC, I think it's ucsc.org jobs. It's the jobs for the University of California, Santa Cruz. There's 3 HVAC openings right now. It's a life-changing job. Probably pays about 50 something bucks an hour. All the benefits, Cadillac retirement, the whole deal. We need 3 guys up there. And I didn't even know if I asked you if that's okay to say that on your list.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just trying to find the website. I think I did. Actually.
Yeah, it's UCSC jobs, and it'll be for I think it says HVAC. Yeah, HVAC technician. There should be. What are we called?
I don't know. We're called all different things everywhere. Your refrigeration engineer.
I think it's called HVAC technician. But you apply through that website, and then they will contact you for an interview. And it's a life-changing job. I don't know what the minimum requirements are. I haven't looked at that part. It might tell us on it. It'd be rad if Zach pulls that up.
Well, that's Riverside. No.
You should
Santa
pull
Cruz,
that.
HVAC mechanic right there. Santa
There it
Cruz.
is. What's the requirements? Let's see this. I know you got to have universal, but that's all you guys have that.
Let's say delayed. Hold on. Is there more to this? Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Let's see what the pay is for those starter outer guys. I bet it's incredible.
Is that
You'll
going to say
probably-
that on here?
Yeah, of course it will. It'll drop your jaw, dude.
Oh yeah, $42.97 an hour.
Not bad for starting out.
It's better than North Carolina, but then again, the house is expensive there.
But
And you get 18 hours a month paid off, 10 hours vacation, 8 hours sick time.
That's pretty good.
And you get Cadillac healthcare. Our retirement's stupid, dude.
There's the required qualification. Let me see if I can make it bigger.
yeah, come on down. Come and
Now
work
we
with
can all
NorCal
see.
Dave.
You can come work with me Monday through Friday and then make a YouTube channel and tell the truth about me.
Oh, you can contrast the real Dave with this Dave.
Yeah, you might lose your mind. I might run you hard all day. Maybe. Yeah, nah. Well, there you can't. I can't work you hard there. It's not performance-based employment. It's don't laugh, Zach. That's the truth.
That's the funniest line of the night. I don't work you hard. It's not performance based. What is it based on?
It's they have a budget for us to be there, but it honestly is not performance based. So let's see what it says.
Hey, there's a guy in the corner going, and stop.
Sure. You got to be journey level experienced and
To the-
or skilled in installation, maintenance, and repair of building, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, refrigeration,
Man.
electrical, plumbing equipment, kitchen equipment. Yeah, we did. We used to do the kitchens, dude. The dishwashers, those dishwashers up there were a nightmare, bro.
Do you have good oral communication and interpersonal skills?
Well, hey, if they hire NorCal Dave, you'll be just fine.
That's the bar, guys. Be better than Dave.
Hey, I'm not going to lie to you, Zach. It took me 15 years to get a job up there. I knew how good it was up there. I interviewed for 15 years till they hired me.
Hey, well, our guys are gonna cringe at this, but you have to have ability to read, write, and perform basic arithmetic calculations.
That's true.
Everybody's like, "Well, forget this."
What? Hey, the good thing is everything's on BMS now, dude. So it's really easy to look up what's broken.
Oh, that's
Ability to work. Listen to the last one is almost contradictory. Ability to work independently and in a team setting.
We can just say ability to work because then it names like every possible setting there. Independently and in a team setting. So that's everything. I mean, that's alone and with people.
Honestly, it's a really good job. I think the pay's higher than that because I don't think they upgraded it after we just did our contract because we had went on strike before COVID. I think the pay's higher than that, dude. All right, I'll bring that up to my supervisor tomorrow.
Update the website. It's now $47.97.
I think they need to update the wage on that. Yeah, I might text. Well, how late is it? I might text him right now. Yeah, it's early enough. I'm gonna.
Well, it's early for you, late for me.
What's that say? 42 what?
$42.97 is what it was.
Yeah, I think it's way low, bro.
Shifts include days. This is a career appointment. All right. Pass background check. Oh, a couple more guys dropped out.
Yeah, they're gonna do because we work up there with students in a college environment. You got to be squeaky clean. So yeah, NorCal Dave's not a freak.
There goes those assumptions.
Yeah. You got to be. I don't even, dude. You got to have a like totally clean record up there.
Man, look at all this stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
State of California.
Well, the bad news is that I have to wrap this up for not because I want to, but because I have to, because I have to go do something.
Oh, that went quick, Zach, man. You're awesome, dude.
Hey, well, and I was gonna say, let's hook back up. Maybe I don't know if you're available next week or the week after, but I'd like to keep going because we didn't.
I'm gonna be it. So I'll tell you what. I'm going to be in Mexico on the El Diablo run. I'm gonna show you this what I got going on. How I've been doing my live streams. I've been using this thing. It's portable. I can take it with me to Mexico. Okay. That's how I've been getting all the funny sounds in and all the baloney. And I plug this. I do all my live streams from my phone. So I'll tell you what, I'll make a deal with you live here. If I have good enough reception in San Felipe.
I don't know where you're going. Deal. That's good.
I got your phone number and stuff. How about I call you and see if we could hook up maybe we can do a live stream from mine with this thing from the Palapa, dude.
Yeah, I'm game. Yeah, that
And,
sounds fun.
And then any topics open. I mean, I could set it up where the ocean's behind me, and maybe I could ask a couple of there's a lot of people that ride motorcycles from all walks of life, male, female, professional. Maybe we could just get some people in there to say hello and then try and promote your channel some more.
Hey, that sounds fine to me. Yeah, you just let me know when you're down there and if you if you have signal.
After I get my hammock all set up and we're all set up, because I'll just have one microphone set, I'll text you or call you and see how you're doing and see what's happening. And then if the audience wants to tune in, we could let everybody know that you're there. I don't know how we could it would be rad if we could broadcast it from both channels, but I don't know how to do that, dude. Is there a way you can do that on YouTube? So like it's live on my channel and it's live on your channel.
We can definitely do that. Absolutely. You can do that with what I'm using on this end.
If we could figure that out, we could. I'm down 100%.
Oh, it's doable. I know we can do it. So we had to get together and.
My fingers! Look! My fingers in the condenser fan motor.
I know that's like my H10. That's what happened to my H10. It fell inside the condenser fan motor and smashed the tip of it. I still have it. It's down there. It's still broken. It's been years. All right.
Let's settle this once and for all. I've watched all your leak detector videos 100 times. Who was the winner for reals?
Oh, the H10 is a winner forever.
Was it for reals?
I would rather have, and not the H10, not the new one. I'd rather have the H10G and plug it in every single time. I think it's the best.
I feel the same way.
And I was lucky enough where I had Infocon sent me a dud. And I got so damn lucky because Rick at HVAC Survival contacted Infocon because I made a bad video about their leak detector.
Which one?
Not the super duper Stratus, but the one right below.
The 3?
Yeah, the Detect 3. I got a dud 3, Detect 3. The guy was like, "Hey, bro, we're really sorry. It was a dud. Send it back. We'll send you a freshie." And that one's been working. But then they sent me the Stratus. And to be honest, I think they sent me the Stratus hoping I would take the bad video down. And I did it out of a courtesy because, hell, they sent me a $900 leak detector. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's a really nice one.
It's the same leak detector.
Just with a screen?
Absolutely. And I've been playing with it, but I have to be honest with everybody. The H10 still smokes it. But it's for $400 if you got the Detect 3 and you got new technology where you don't have to change sensors, and time will tell if that's true. It will pick up leaks and it does work. Is it better than the H10? My problem is with me, and I'm just being honest, I was trained with the H10. I know how it works and I know how to use it. Does that make sense?
It was, especially with that one. Yeah, it does. Because there's so much variability with it.
Yeah. And so when I get to these other ones, I don't have patience with them. But then when I do settle down and I take the time and figure out how that tool works, they do work. So the Stratus does work, is in my opinion. If I'm going to be honest with people, no, don't spend $900 on that leak detector. No. If you're a guy in this trade, I just got to be honest. No, spend $500 and buy H10.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. They don't have that one anymore. You have to get a new one. But
yeah, and as far as the Detect 3, $400, I spent my own $400 on that leak detector because I wanted to try the new technology. Is it better than an H10? In my God's honest opinion, no. Does it work? Yes. Does the Stratus work? Yeah, they work. $900? I can't tell some kid to go that's making $28 an hour to go buy a $900 leak detector.
Is it better than the Detect Select?
Never used the Detect Select.
That's the one I think I still have that one.
Maybe I'll have to mail you my 3 and you could do a comparison, see what you think.
Yeah, I can break out the old coil and test them.
It's
I wonder where that coil is at.
I hope you got 1 million views on that. That was a great leak detector challenge, bro. That was so good.
That was a lot of fun. Well, I never know what on YouTube is going to be. People are going to like watching. I mean, after all these years, I'm still like, okay, well, here it goes. But they like those videos, man. They watch
Let me
those
ask you that. Well, let me
comparisons.
ask you this. So I still own that field piece SLR8. I gotta say, that little bugger is a good little leak detector, dude. Well, how did you like that thing on your test?
The 8. I'm trying to remember because I had both of them. I had like a
Yeah,
S,
the eight's the eight's the
2 and an
heated
8.
diode.
The 8 was better than the 2. I
Yes.
remember that. I'm trying to remember because I can't remember the comparisons I did with them, but it did relatively well compared to the other ones. I think the H10 was first. And that was the Pro. That wasn't even the G. And the Testo I think did pretty good. The 316.3. But I got to look back at it. I can't remember. I know the H10 is the top though. That one I remember. But
I knew that was going to happen. I just knew it. I was hoping it was going to happen.
I knew it was going to happen too. I mean, I was doing the videos. I was like, well, let's just go ahead and see who the H10 is going to beat in the final round. You know.
Hey, the only thing I need next is I need to see someone's video where a zoom lock blew out, like Steve Labs had the ProPress blowout.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, I mentioned the zoom light today, but that might be a negative memory. I don't know.
No. I honestly, so time goes by and things evolve. I think if you're gonna do mega line set on a daikon VRV or a Mitsubishi, yeah, man, the zoom lock's got to be acceptable, right? They don't want brazing on those because they don't want the crap in the system to kill all the valves.
Yeah.
Awesome
screens and stuff.
Awesome place for zoom lock. Yeah, I'm on board, dude. I'm on board with it for that for sure.
I think that's like, to me, that's where it's designed to go. Because like I was talking to the guy, because the zoom lock it's not with spoiling anymore. That technology was RLS, and now they're separate. And I talked to the RLS guy in January, and I was like, well, where's like the point where you say like, this doesn't make sense anymore? Of course, that's a weird question for him. He's like, it always makes sense. This is RLS too. But I mean, when you get like the residential and you're tying in like a heat pump or a condenser and you have to braze onto it anyway, I mean, that doesn't make sense. But if you're doing like all that piping, I think that's perfect. I mean, I think it's the perfect situation for
it. And so that was a few years ago, like 2017, and I was all fired up. I'm gonna be honest, dude. I was just all fired up because I just didn't want to see our trade going down a notch and guys not getting paid. Was more my when I looked at the thing. Come on, dude. In reality, I was like, shit, that's probably going to be the future. And then I got bummed because I was like, it's just going to keep wages stagnant. And I didn't want to see our trade just go not keep moving up with the technology. And I think I had mentioned that a few times when I was getting all bitter with you guys or whatever.
I remember.
Yeah, we were poking the bear, and
it's all good though.
No, it is, but I have a hard time explaining things and getting my point across. I wasn't against the device as much as I was just getting bummed out that I was seeing it as something that would probably repress the wages in our trade. And I want us to keep going this way.
Right.
And now that you see the price of lumber, God, I ordered 28 sticks of solder today. I got to tell you this real quick before you cut off. So if you get the Silfloss 15 is what we all use, $130 now for 28 sticks.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because I was trying to remember the last time I bought it would have been Harris, and well, not the last time, but the one I remember it was like $60. It was way cheaper, and that was 15% too. Yeah,
go buy a 2x6 or a sheet of plywood right now. Everything's gone skyrocket, and I'm sure it's because of whatever's going on in the world and the Rona and all this baloney. But I've always been an advocate for this. Is NorCal Dave's thing is I want look, we're not electricians and we're not plumbers, and it's not an ego thing, and it's not talking bad about other trades, but we do plumbing, we do electrical, we do so much more. And here's the problem I'm struggling with, Zach, and we could have this conversation on another live cast, and I'll come on with you. I can't retain everything we have to work on now.
Yeah.
It's an Airco boiler. It's a Lochinvar boiler. It's a Daikon. It's a Mitsubishi. It's R290 system. It's the it's this BMS. Now we're using, God, these great controls at work. You could use them for everything. The Distech controls. I'll have to get together with you and get one and set it up. You'll have to teach me how to show the screenshot.
Yeah.
You can buy these Distech controllers, can do anything you want, and you can program it and put your recipe in it. Whether you want it for air conditioning, ventilation, everything. Oh, hey, and then I just got these ones at work. They were installed in 2018. I'll tell this story because I'm not videoing at work, but I can tell stories from work. They put the enthalpy wheels, what are they called? The EVCs, where you're taking the indoor air and the outdoor air, and we're using the enthalpy wheel.
Oh, ERV.
ERVs. So tons of ERVs at work now where they did these remodels. They didn't get commissioned, and we didn't service them, and they're all broken, and they're all in attics.
They're all broken.
And yours truly,
no.
yours truly gets to go wrench on them now. And because of COVID, all the filters need to be MERV 13s now, so it's cool. It's a good thing with that. What found them all broken was our BMS system. So the BMS got hooked up, but they never got commissioned to get on the maintenance schedule. So we never PM'd them since 2018. And they're all broken, and they're not belts. There's these little, they almost look like surgical tubing that go across the motor to spin the enthalpy wheels. And there's probably a bunch of guys in the comments that work on these all day long, every day. But that's something else I got to learn that goes on that list with the daikon and the Aircos and the Lochinvars. And
yeah, but
how does all this get in here all day? And you're going to work on, you don't know, you're going to get one of those.
I don't think it gets in there. I don't think you keep it all. You just gotta, like on the new stuff. I mean, there's so much proprietary stuff. It's not like I'm going to carry like a contactor and this fits in every unit. But I got to carry this relay that fits in one unit. And this relay fits in another unit, and it's all the way down the line.
And hey, and then this is where it all ties back in, where my concern was with the Zoom lock was our wages need to stay up here because we're not, hey bro, I'm not putting wires in a panel all day long and putting donkey sauce on and pulling wires all day and hooking them up on the home runs. No, it's different, man. It's all different.
Yeah.
And our trade, and it's not an ego thing or like, oh, we're better. I'm not better than an electrician. It's just different. And I just don't want to see our wages coming down because of some device that came out. That's what I was concerned about with the Zoom lock.
That's sort of what I saw from what you were saying. It was a skills thing, and having lower skill workers running this stuff would lower the entire wage.
And that's going to happen. I mean, if me and you own the shop, let's get this guy at $15 an hour to go run it. I don't need to pay this guy. Come on.
And that's exactly what I was thinking. There's a kid that arrives at work first day, 17 years old. It's like, what do I do, sir? It's like, give him the Zoom lock. I can do that all day. Yeah. It's a point well taken. Yeah.
And I don't think that happens. I think all those Zoom lock ones where you heard the stories where they failed, the guys installed them wrong. It wasn't the actual device or the tool.
Yeah, they get the burrs off of it and stuff and rip the O-rings up. Yeah.
Yeah. And Steve Labs has a great video about ProFest, maybe from a weekend ago or so, where he's under the guy's house for the outside spigot, and it blew right out. And then, Steve with his bedside banner, he's like, hey, guy, these guys are putting this junk in.
I like it because if you tell a Steve story, whoever's telling it has to do like the impression of Steve while he's telling it.
Oh, he's the best. And then he's right though. He's like, hey, cut that garbage out. I'm going to solder this thing in. And what does he do? He goes in there and solders, and the guy's like, oh, hey, a real plumber. Hey, I got a real guy in here. And he does. He solders it all up like in 2 seconds because he's a genius. He's been doing it for 50 years, and he nails it, and he's out of there. And I hope he got a big old paycheck too.
I'm sure he did. He's a good guy. I like him.
He's the best.
He's a little nuts like the rest of it, but he's a good guy.
I want to party with that guy one day. I hope he invites me out there. I'll ride my motorcycle out there and film it.
That'd be great.
I would love
No,
to go to the back. Remember when he used to burn wood in the backyard?
Yeah,
Or the
fireside
cardboard?
chats.
Those are the best, dude. He needs to do those. Those are his best videos.
Give it the Gundy. I remember that. He was blowing like I don't know if it was like an induced draft motor or whatever. He was blowing air into the fire. It was like, yeah.
So that's another channel I still watch, dude. I'll watch Heavy Diesel. I still watch Chuck's videos, and I will tune in to Steve's videos too.
It's an entertainment factor with him. I mean, it's not just watching it because you learn something from him, but it's like the way he acts is it's just entertaining.
Oh, his interaction, especially being from California, the way the people on the East Coast talk to each other I love it, dude.
That's not the whole East Coast. That's just where he's at.
Well, yeah, if they're
happen down here.
Oh, dude, I just sit there and just die, dude. We just laugh. We'll watch him at work at lunch. We'll put him on the big screen and just die.
Yeah.
But what's good is you can sit there and laugh, but you'll learn a shit ton too. There's no oil burners out here, but I could watch his videos and at least have an idea how an oil burner works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've never touched one in my life.
Well, I've only worked on like a handful of them, and when I worked on them, that's who I called. I called him and I talked to him about it, and he kind of gave me the general rundown. I was able to fix them. So
what a great guy!
Yeah,
that's odd. Hey, remember when it started out, Zach? It was the YouTube HVAC community.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone remembers that now.
Yeah, and it's not about, oh, F this guy or that guy's not taking the right amp chart. You put the wrong 3-in-1 in or banging or like I had to make that song, The YouTube Police, dude. Remember that one? Did you ever see that?
Yeah, that's right. No, I remember that.
Dude, there was none of that going on. Everybody was helping each other, dude. It was nice. And now it's all about, oh, I could make a couple bucks. That guy's boning me.
Where's the micron gauge people? Hey, man.
Yeah.
Where's your micron gauge at?
Dude, that YouTube Police was epic, dude. That's my best bass line. Because you play guitars and stuff too. That's the best bass line I've ever played, Zach.
I sure do, Dave.
Yes, you do. No, and you have a ton of music too, and I love it.
That's why I said I'm just going to make my own stuff for the podcast and everything because I won't be copyrighted at least. And I can say I like that. I like making your own stuff. It's not as good as like if someone made it like with a band in a studio. But
well, hey, what's funny is I started watching your videos and I had been dormant on the music because I was a drummer by trade. And but I have the instruments and I hadn't picked up stuff for years, dude. And then I found all you guys on YouTube, and then I saw you doing all your stuff, and it got me motivated to get back into it. I never told you that.
That's cool. Yeah, no, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Reverb Nation, is that right?
So it's all your fault. There's a YouTube Police song.
I'll take full credit for whatever song that I didn't allow to happen, but I inspired to rekindle the music there because you made several good ones.
It led way to iced up coilotitis.
Yeah, that's why. Did you make a song about the True Blue Hose, or was that just
it's Tom Powell sent me the lyrics. He made the lyrics. He's all let's
he
make
wrote
a song.
the song.
He wrote the lyrics, dude.
That's funny. That's I didn't know that.
Yeah. Tom. It says it on the video that the lyrics are by Tom Powell. Yeah, Tom did that. That guy, dude. Oh. He has good videos.
Yeah, he's just a really smart guy. He's a real nice guy too. He was on a podcast a long time ago.
You should get him on, Zach, because I'll tell you why, dude. He switched jobs from working at the school to working. He does daikon all day long now. Is his job, and I owe that guy a ton, dude.
Oh, he's here. He's in the chat. Okay.
Oh, hey, Tom. Yeah, Tom bailed my ass out at my day job on the daikons. After he got off work, I called him and he took the time, his own personal time to walk me through my job at my day job to get it back working. And that's what's so cool. He was like a tech support guy for me. And that's what's so cool about from YouTube in this community, dude.
Yeah.
Old school.
There's a lot of us that remember each other from a long time that can, if we really needed to, we could call, even the ones that talk in a while could still call each other.
Oh, you should get him on. We could learn a lot from him, dude, talking about daikon, dude. If he'd want to do it.
Well, that's all I need. Tom, you gonna come on the show, though?
I don't want to speak for you, Tom, but yeah.
Well, he's been on before. He's never been on live, I don't think, but he was on before.
He would be great. He would be awesome.
Hey, Tom, I got another one just for you, man. I can send for you.
Yeah.
It'll be set up.
Dude, I'll sit there and I'll have a notepad when Tom's on.
Oh yeah, he knows a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Well.
he's got those daikons down. Hey, Tom, thank you, man, for helping out, brother. That was fucking nice. Oh,
Sorry for cussing again.
I told Dave like before the show, you can say sorry in advance and cover the whole show.
Oh, damn.
He don't have to say sorry at all. But
can you tell how happy I am? Tom bailed me out. Oh, dude.
I bet Tom's bailed a lot of people out over the years.
He's
I can't remember. I remember talking to him on the phone. I don't remember what we were talking about. Probably tools or something. I don't remember. But
I do like that ideal meter that he showed on his last video that he put out that had. So if you put the meter like this, it shows it at the end. I might end up buying that amp probe.
Right.
I think it was an ideal 61747.
I got something else I wanted to show you actually. Let me see if I can find it. I know I'm past time here, and I'm an angry wife in a second. But
go to Tom Powell's YouTube channel.
There's a
subscribe.
Oh, here it is. Check this out. Now tell me if you recognize this. It'll pop up on the screen in a second. I gotta open it in a new tab. Okay. Do you recognize this meter? It's ideal now, but what is that meter?
That looks like a field piece.
Field piece SC76.
It does.
That's exactly the same meter at Ideal. Like, I guess they bought it, the design or something. I was like, I wanted to go buy this meter, except for they're selling it like $200. I was like, well, we can probably get a different meter for $200.
Oh, you got it.
Hey, pull up Tom's channel real quick before we check out and show up his last video of that Ideal. I think it's a 61-747 meter. It's I think it was $90 at Lowe's. And if you guys haven't yet, subscribe to Tom's channel. He does great tool reviews and stuff.
Yeah, he's done several reviews. He's putting
meter.
stuff more often too.
I think I might buy that meter. I haven't ordered it yet, but I'm right there.
This is the video. I'm not going to play it, but it's kind of a meter with an ideal price.
Meter.
Good wordplay, Tom. I like that.
Yeah, it's $90, and so at the butt of that meter is another screen that pokes out at you if you have the meter going straight down.
Oh, I remember. I remember those. They had them back in the day. There's a couple of the guys that had those things. I think Ideal might have sent out a few meters back in the day. Some of the YouTube guys, so they put it on the videos, and it does. It has this little display right on the end of it.
And it does temperature too. Well, just go to Tom's channel and watch that video and hit the like button.
It's
how was that? How and hit Zach's like button while you're watching this, and then go to NorCal
to the point with the quickness.
Yeah, and go to NorCal Refrigeration, subscribe, and like.
that should cover everything. Yeah, but Tom's channel, it's awesome. He does a good job.
HVACR. Yeah, Tom rocks.
All right, we gotta stick a fork in this thing because it's 11:18 here. Brother. I'm about to fall asleep anyway. I'll probably text you tomorrow to see when you're going and wherever you're going and all that stuff. Set it up.
Yeah, let's figure out if we can do that. That'd be fun for everybody.
Oh yeah, we can definitely do it.
I'll be able to bring people and guests. There's a lot of lady riders that ride out there. We could bring them on and talk motorcycles. We could go HVAC motorcycles, see what people do for a living from all over the country.
Well, I do exactly what we did tonight. Just start talking and see what happens.
So. Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right, dude. All right. Well, I appreciate it. I'll text you tomorrow and we'll start planning it out. Okay.
All right. Be good, everybody. Good
human beings.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Dave. Later, man. That is our buddy Dave right there. I'm gonna wrap this sucker up. I'm about to go to bed. I had something else I was gonna read, but we're gonna do that next time because we're out of time. Guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I really appreciate it. Thanks again, Dave, for coming by. That was a lot of fun. We're gonna do that again. We're gonna try to bring some more guys on to have these long conversations where we just talk. It's a lot of fun, man. So I gotta get out of here. Run out of time. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. Give the video a like if you've enjoyed this show. Look in the description. You can sign up for live notifications, and that'll help you get a text notification whenever we're about to go live. So anything else, there's more stuff in the description. If you want to, you can kind of search through there, but I'm going to get out of here, and I'll see you guys on the next one.